Rock on. I forgot that. Didn't fall out this time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. So happy to be here with you guys today. Here, strapped into a thrilling episode of 220. When I hear those numbers, I can't help but think of Fred Jones. There was a whole bit in Scooby-Doo they did for a while where Fred just kept bringing up the fact that I could bench 220.
I can bench press 220.
Which was always funny, and it still makes me laugh, and it still sticks in my head, especially anytime somebody brings up how much they can bench regardless. I just hear Fred Jones, and now it sounds stupid. So I won't even tell you how much I can bench, but rest assured, it's a lot.
I can bench 220.
But anyways, guys, thrilled to be here as always, and I'm feeling particularly refreshed. Kind of, sort of, half, but enough that I'm more refreshed than I was before. And you know what? I like to share with you my wins, but more than that, I like to share with you my losses, because more often than not, people look at me and they say, Tristan, you're a perfect specimen. Because I tell them to say that, but they do say it, and I want you to know that I am human. And I suffer just like the rest of you is, okay? And I've still been struggling with my sleep schedule so bad, dude, so bad. And I know we keep recounting that through episodes and episodes and episodes, but you know what? This is a diary, this show. Okay, in years from now, when it's all said and done, we'll be able to look back through my entire 20s and go, what was I suffering with? Turns out it was mostly caffeine and sleep. My entire 20s, you know, there was lots of highs and lows and different things I could share, but I didn't want to get too deep. But I kept it real surface, but stuff that really mattered to me, and that was, you know, waking up on time. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. But yes, I got off energy drinks, and then I got off melatonin. And all of a sudden, I could not sleep. And I was up until 8 a.m., sleeping till noon. And it was tough, and it was tricky. And I've been getting desperate, man. I've been trying a variety of different things. And I liked melatonin because I was able to fall asleep. I didn't like that it had this, like, carryover effect, you know, that you wake up and you're still tired. That's not fair, you know? I don't want to have some sort of afterburn. Like, yes, great benefit for when I wanted it. That's for when I needed it. And you're like, hey, does anybody want to hang out? You're like, I'll hang out. You're like, okay, great. But go home now. We're all done just for a little bit. All right. I was feeling a little bit lonely, wanted to hang out, go throw the ball in the park, you know, whatever people with friends do. And now we're done. Don't come home with me. Don't bring that back. Okay. Melatonin is like a stray cat in that way. I fed myself it a little bit, and it just keeps returning. You're just stuck. You're stuck in it, man. And I get weird dreams, which sucks, okay, because you finally fall asleep for a little bit and you get these weird nightmares. I don't know what it is about sleeping medicine or pills or whatever happens in the brain where it's always bad, man. Mine was, it was about the devil telling me my time was up, which is a bit unsettling, you know? You're like, hey, I woke up, but at what cost? I'm like, well, oh boy, was that? Was there a meaning there? I like to believe that my dreams have meaning, but all of a sudden I gotta throw that out now that they're nightmares. Like, no, that there's no carryover. When I have a different dream about me climbing a mountain, I'm like, yes, prosperity, oncoming greatness, it's on the horizon. But then the devil's looking around and just assembling an army. He's going, Tristan's here. Yes, I go, no, what? So that's a bit unfortunate, man. And that's a sucky part. I will say that, man, about being a Christian, about being a man of faith is yes, you believe in this everlasting life of heaven, but I also believe that the devil is working, man, and he is doing some damage. So I think he's in the melatonin, and I got to steer away from it. All right. That's the devil's food. Maybe there's some sort of weird, I don't know. I don't want to get too conspiracy theorist, but I will say every time I have a melatonin, I dream of Satan, and that sucks. But I've been trying to get my sleep schedule right as much as possible, and I took a deep Hail Mary, man, where I was like, okay, you know what always works for me? Food coma, where you just maximum glutton yourself to the point of exhaustion and you want to throw up, but you know what? Your body has no choice but to sleep. Because it's like, I can't live like this. I have to shut my eyes and go to another plane of existence because I'm so full of all these biggie bags and greasy galley boys and burgers and fries. And that worked. I had so many burgers and fries and ice creams that I fell asleep from like 4 a.m. to 5:30. I slept for 90 minutes. And then I woke up, I was like, oh, maybe I didn't eat hard enough. That's what I thought. That was my thinking. Instead, I woke up and I was still sick. So I had an apple pie next to my bedside. Like, people keep a glass of water. They're like, I'm a bit thirsty. And then I'm like, oh, time for I ate a full apple pie in the span of like 15 minutes, middle of the night. And it turns out that sweets don't work the same way as like the sodium that is fast food and just like the grease that kind of knocks you out. So I woke up and ate that whole apple pie, and it did not knock me out. And I just felt full and fat and exhausted, and I couldn't fall asleep. So I was just full and fat for no reason. And I didn't get more than 90 minutes of sleep that night. It was very unfortunate. I took a Hail Mary, and it got intercepted. And you're going to have that. You're going to have that in this world. But again, this is why I like to tell you my L's, okay? So you guys can feel like you can rise. How was your week? You get stuck in traffic? That's not that bad. I was up until 9 a.m., fat and greasy, just sweating it out. Not only could I not fall asleep, but I was in pain, dude. Just trying to survive, man. Sleep. Ah, man, you think it's just an unwinding ability, And what would the cavemen think? What would the people of old think that were just so desperate for rest, so desperate for relaxation? And we're like, oh, I couldn't sleep if I wanted to. I just can't knock out right. But I'll get there. So I was trying some stuff, got the melatonin, got off that. I tried some trazodone, I believe is what it was called, some heavy-duty sleeping pills. This stuff is supposed to knock you out fast, man. And that it did. Okay, I tried. It was like, this is the good stuff. I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna wake up. I got a little worried about it, in fact. So I popped this, and immediately, I'm talking within 5 minutes, I started feeling drowsy, and that's kind of where the fear kicked in a little bit, and it kind of made me not want to go to bed. I was like, it's working too good, and no one's around. I'm like, am I gonna die? So I was scared, but equally as excited for a good long night's rest, man. And I laid down, and my eyes got heavy, like somebody tied little dumbbells to my eyelids. I'm like, here we go. And I passed out at like 1 a.m. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Thank you, Trazodone. But the dreams, man. When you start fooling with whatever melatonin, the chemicals in the brain that activate the sleep, there is something arise. And this time it wasn't the devil. Nay, it was a sleepover, a slumber party I was having with a real dweeb-looking fella, okay? I knocked out on this trazodone, and all of a sudden I'm at this slumber party. And I'm talking to this guy, and we're just like, yeah, it's probably going to be bedtime soon. He goes, we'll probably stay up. I go, I can't do that. I'm trying to get a good night's rest. And he goes, well, you're not really going to be able to sleep that well, because it's hard to sleep. And I go, not for me. I got trazodone. And I pulled up this little medicine, and I got in my little sleeping bag that was on the floor for some reason. There was no beds in this whole place. And he goes, that won't work. Now, I'm in my sleeping bag. I popped the pill, and he's just like standing over me. And he's telling me, he's like, the trazodone won't work. I go, yes, it will, man. Okay, my dad said so. So I'm trying to fall asleep, and he's still talking at me. He's like, it's not going to work. I was like, how do you know? He's like, because I've seen trazodone. And he had like no legs to stand on because I don't have, any knowledge of medicinal science. So even Dream Me was like scrambling. He's like, it's freaking, I don't know, the receptors and stuff, whatever. It's not going to work. So then he got a little bit intimidating, and he went, I bet you don't get more than 45 minutes of sleep. I go, you know what? Whatever, man. Just let me go to bed. All right. And as he said that, I turned over, woke up in real life. 45 minutes had passed. This freaking idiot, okay, all right, with his glasses and his little curly hair and a wispy beard that blew in the wind, okay, like a 12-year-old that just grew stubble for the first time. I was so annoyed with him. I don't know who he is, okay? He doesn't look like anyone in my life, but rest assured, I'm going to find you, okay? And I think this might be Satan still manifesting himself in my dreams. And fear not, guys, if that is what Satan looks like, don't even be intimidated. If you go down the hell, I mean, he's a real, Silicon Valley looking fella. But anyways, I was so mad. I woke up not only mad that the trazodone didn't even work, okay, but also that this guy, he beat me in my own dreams. He went, now. Wake up now. It's over. And I woke up and I was so pissed, dude. And I had no one to be mad at because he didn't exist. And that's where I've been at, okay, for this past week plus, really. So last night, I invested in some heavy duty melatonin. Now, did it work? Kind of. I fell asleep from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's 3 hours, and that's a better sleep schedule than I've had all the week so far. So we're not in a cured space, but we're on the incline. Things are getting better. They might drop off, all right? My life seems to be like this. It's a big bell curve, but I like to appreciate, I only notice the rise, okay? When I start falling, I don't really pay attention to it. I know I complain a lot here on the show. None of it is serious. There are so many things in my life that you will never hear about. So many deep, dark, dastardly deeds and struggles that I will never bring to the surface. I'm a real conflicted fella. It's not true. But even when there are things, the stuff that I do complain about, I don't actually care about. So I hope people don't ever. You know what? And maybe that's I don't know. I don't know what the right method is about speaking in general, because I don't want to hang out with somebody who just complains all the time. But I feel like if I'm complaining that we're on the same ground of, hey, let's both laugh at this, then we're okay. But I got to remind you guys, hey, everything's okay. I'm not actually upset, except for that. I mean, I'm mad about that dweeb, okay? That absolute doofus looking. I don't even. How do I beat him up? Okay, somehow I gotta take more trazodone. I guess I have to get back there, and I'm gonna fight him, and then I'm gonna leave. I'm like, okay, I got 45 minutes to inflict as much damage as I can, and I'm about to bounce. Okay? He's like, trazodone won't work. I'm like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Try waking up from this one, man. So I'm going to get him good, guys. Don't you worry about that. Revenge is best served deep in the REM cycles. So anyways, it's cool. Now let's go to some wins, man. Hey, you want to hear a couple losses? Here's some wins for you. I ordered grocery delivery, okay? Like I do very often, because yes, I have plenty of time in the day, but why would I spend that shopping when I can pay someone else to do it? Luxury, I understand. But I ordered a grocery order. It was full of milk, and I needed some conditioner and shampoo because luscious. Okay, I got locks. Let's say that. And just, shower things. I got myself a loofah too. High class. Okay, look, things are different now. All right, I'm investing in my hygiene. But I ordered all this stuff, right? And I get the text, hey, your stuff's outside. Now, naturally, it's milk. I especially want to go check it out. So I run across this huge apartment. It takes me a jaunt. And I get out there. Stuff's not there. There's a photo of it. I see my front door. I see all the groceries. I see all the things. He's like, stuff's been delivered. I go, no, it ain't. Okay, I'm texting the guy who delivered. Nothing. No one's answering. No picking up. And then I'm looking around the corner because, I don't know if somebody stole my stuff. And I see people. I'm like, somebody just disappeared. I see some guy. The bus comes. He disappears behind it. He's like holding all my stuff. I don't know what I was looking for. I just thought maybe I would see somebody holding like a butt. That's a hard thing to steal. Like maybe an Amazon package. You maybe hop back in your car and you drive off or something. But no one just sleeves of groceries and he's just gonna run off into the distance. So I was thinking, if he's gonna be here, he's gonna be here. So I'm walking out. Okay, in my pajamas. Bit embarrassing, but I did it anyway. And I didn't see nothing. And I was so mad, dude. I was so mad. So I ride into Walmart, right? And go, my grocery order's not here. And they go, what happened to it? I go, if I knew, I would have led with that. Hey, some guy just took my stuff. And they go, well, maybe it was stolen. I go, all right, well, your guess is as good as mine. So props to Walmart. Walmart replaced all of my groceries free of charge, sent a new package right at my door. And they're like, hey, here's a $15 coupon off for your next one. Sorry for the troubles. Now, it's not their fault that I was robbed, okay? But they still extended their hand in courtesy, and we appreciate that, okay? Sometimes, Walmart can be a little bit gross to walk inside, but the customer service, phenomenal. So anyways, my new order comes. I pick up all my stuff. I'm like, yes, now I can shower and drink milk. The two things I love in life, being clean and getting calcium. So I bring all the stuff in. And as I'm setting the groceries inside, I hear a knock at the door. And I think, oh, the thief's coming back, right? He's like, oh, I saw you got more groceries. Can I have those too? I walk out there, and I'm greeted not by a thief, but a man with more groceries in his arms. He says, I'm so sorry, man. I got mixed up. I was trying to deliver the orders, but I accidentally brought you someone else's groceries. And then I put yours someone else. So I had to take them back and drive them back. I'm sorry for the mix-up. That's my fault. Here's your stuff. I go, huh? Now I got 18 gallons of milk. I have a plethora of conditioner and shampoos and different things, and now I have all these things, and he felt so bad about it, came out, shook his hand, and I was like, oh, okay, thanks, man. I didn't know if I was supposed to say that Walmart had replaced it, but I know he was just doing like the DoorDash little deliveries. Didn't really matter. He's getting paid all the same. So he's like, hey, I really want to apologize. I was like, dude, it's fine. I have so much milk in the fridge. Don't even worry about it. And he felt bad. He's like, you know what? At least I can say, out of my first order, it didn't go bad. I was like, oh, okay, come on, man. So his name was Ricky, and you know what? I was like, don't worry, bro. I'm going to get you a nice tip, okay? Because I'm like Robin Hood. If I'm going to get some luck, I'm going to spread the wealth around. So I benefited well, and I shared my W's with the world, and now we all walked away a little bit happier. Now, I was up all night, but rest assured, I smell good the entire time. So that was very nice, man. And I have so many gallons of milk I have to get through in a week or something like that. So that's all I've been having, especially. It's just, dude, I'm like sweating milk, man. You know, you could just, if I work out too hard, you're like, dude, why do I want cereal? So it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty great. Life's been okay. You know, it's been all right. You got to enjoy the good with the bad, man. I'll say this. Not only with that and with the sleep and with the heat and stuff, there was things, just, you know, everything goes on. Life happens, all right? It gets stressful and it gets hard. I have been having the greatest time in my life ever, man. Well, that's not to say that. I'm kind of always happy, but I'm still maintaining, even in the crap, just a lovely, swell time. And usually that's because I can use it and spin it and make a joke out of it, you know, because it's so hot. I'm like, dude, I'm setting a glass of water. I turn around and get a banana. It's evaporated. You know, steam. It was that hot, dude. The booth was freaking 89 degrees. I'm pouring sweat. I'm like trying to do voice work. Yeah, I'm like wrapping my head. You can hear desert music. There's camels. So anyways, in the midst of all that, you know, and everyone's like, I'm so sorry, you feel bad. And I like that. I do. I'll say that. Also, people are like, don't pity me. I love pity, man. Anytime someone's like, I feel so bad, I'm like, oh, yeah, freaking, who wants to bring me food? You know, I love that. Anytime someone's like, I feel so bad for you, yes, bring it on, man. All right? I don't feel, if you feel bad for me, I don't feel less at all. All right? I feel empowered. And also, there might be gifts on the horizon. I never got that. You know, my pride has never been too big. Like, don't feel bad for me, all right? I'm fine. I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty tough. I'll play it up, dude. All right, get me more condolences. That's all I need. But anyways, in all that, man, I usually find so much joy in the crap. Not to get freaking philosophical, but I find so much joy in the pain, the stupid things, and the inconveniences, and that we can turn them into stories, and they're fun things, and they're fun little chapters. But a lot of that stuff, even though I did bring it up on the podcast, and I did turn it into, but I just kind of had this moment, man, in the middle of the night, and it's 4 a.m., and I'm sweating my balls off, dude. So terrible, that I just felt like I'm going to look back on this, and I'm going to miss it. You know, like somehow I tapped into some future version of me where I was like, I'm going to look back at this moment. Do you remember when you were alone and you just had to be cranking out these voiceover scripts, and the job is so lonely, you have no coworkers, and you're by yourself in the middle of the night, and you're sweating, you're pouring sweat, and you have so much milk in your fridge and not enough of a stomach to deal with it. You know, and I was thinking about this moment. I was like, man, I'm going to miss this, you know? And I've just kind of been applying that to every little unique chapter of everything that's been hard, and I look at my life very often, and they say, look at your life like it's a movie. And as a very theatrical fella, I try to do that. I'm like, man, I don't want to miss the character arc scenes, when you have like some bad stuff going on. Like, dude, I don't want to miss the training montage where it's a struggle before he launches up, before the hero rises. Like, let's not skip the scene, okay? Because the big payoff makes no diff. The payoff means nothing if we don't see the hero get jumped in the alley. Not saying I want that, all right? I know your words got power, all right? And also, some people have gotten jumped in the alley. But I don't know. I've just been trying to enjoy the crappy situations so much, and not even just like spinning them for a humorous purpose, although I do that too, but just like genuinely going, man, I'm going to miss this, so I'm going to enjoy it right now. And it helped a lot, man. It helped, especially in that heat, because I was in the daze, man. I'm trying to record these things. Also, in the middle of that, apparently all the scripts were wrong. Something happened. They glitched. And I was like, hey, the last 4 hours of recordings, there was things, characters were wrong, and we got to rework that. And they're like, oh, yeah, for sure. Just re-record those. Like, it's so hot. And I got back in that booth, man, and we powered through. And you know what? Just don't look back at something and go like, man, I wish I would have enjoyed it. Even, do you have any, like, it's very easy to look back at something like, oh, that sucked. But also, there was some charm. There's always a little bit. There's some charm in every little moment. It may take a week or a month or a year or 5 before you can kind of look at it through that lens. But I hated being in college, and I look back at that so fondly for some reason. I go, man, waking up early, I'm just watching ESPN in the morning hallways, and I'm hearing all the gossip, and everyone's talking behind each other's back because it's theater school, and I'm so nervous, and I hated it so much, man. I despised it, but I look back on it so fondly for some reason, so I don't want to miss the chance to do that right now. And also, man, we look forward to like holidays so often, holidays and Christmas and Easter and Mother's Day, Father's Day, Flag Day, Earth Day, whatever it is. We look like, oh, but this holiday comes but once a year, But hey, this May 25th, 2025 only comes once a lifetime. Enjoy it. Whoa, he's poetic today. He's feeling good, man. He's feeling good. But anyways, I don't know if that helps at all to anyone who is struggling, but you know what? I don't know. You learn to love the struggle, right? It feels good. And if you can't do that, well, I don't know. Make a joke out of it, because that's actually even more fun. But if you can't find the joke, just don't even. You don't even got to spin it. All right, just catalog, save for later. I'll revisit. Taste buds change in your memory buds, and all of a sudden you feel a lot better about it. Anyways, is there anything else we have to talk about? Really? Don't know. I don't know. I guess we can cover a couple. I want to do better at covering some news articles, because I want you guys to come here for the news. All right. If you're not plugged into the world, politics, you can get that elsewhere. Mostly. Maybe I'll say something about tariffs. I have so many opinions. I don't. But I'm trying to, I don't know, maybe just keep some more talking points. The thing is, I've used the podcast a lot for just an improvised kind of rambling and like I said, a diary almost of things of just I'm just really cataloging all my losses. And I guess I can just go back and rewatch those and be like, man, I did miss that. I did miss when that dentist blinded me with Novocaine. But certain things we can kind of work on. I used it for like stand-up, and dude, I've been trying to get into stand-up. I really have. And I went just the other night, and I was going to go this week, but some guy with an accordion threatened to come back naked the next week because it was his birthday. He's like, I'm coming back in my birthday suit, just a heads up. And I didn't want any part of that, so I didn't go. But I'm trying to work on that. But I also am not going to say it again, because I know that there's something to be said about telling people your goals. And there's fun in sharing the excitement, but anytime you tell somebody, hey, I'm doing this, I'm going to be trying to, they go, hey, congratulations, way to go. And you get that little spike of like, hey, people recognize the effort, they recognize the hustle, the pride, I get the way to go, the kudos, and then you lose a little bit of motivation. It's like, hey, someone's like, hey man, I'm gonna start working out. They go, hey, way to go. And you're like, well, if I already got the attaboys, why even do it? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's certain things where if you tell people your plans, you lose a little bit of that steam. So I'm not going to bring it up again. I only wanted to say that to mention the naked accordion player. And also, if you are heading to any of the comedy clubs in Northeast Ohio this week, look out. So anyways, we're trying to do a better job. It's a long-winded way of saying what's going on in the news, man. And I've also been trying to do better at finding news, and it's not always that easy, but apparently you can just look at pop culture news and it's way more exciting than anything else. And I saw, still scary. I saw a big thing, man, people were criticizing what's her face, Cameron Diaz, recently, because she was like, I don't ever want to get plastic surgery. And people were like, well, some people deserve to just look this way. And she was like, well, I would rather see an aging face than see a face that doesn't belong to me. And it's, very, hey, take your takes. That's how she feels. I don't know. Everyone's got very angry opinions on stuff all the time. But especially if someone's opinion about themselves, she wasn't even saying like, hey, everyone who gets plastic surgery, you suck. She's like, I just don't want to do it, which is also, I don't know what the preface to that conversation was. If someone's like, hey, you look like you're kind of wilting, why don't you get some plastic, I don't know what prompted that response. And she's like, well, I would just rather keep aging than hey, why don't you get plastic surgery? Like, hey, why don't you lose some weight? I don't know what happened there, but it's weird for people to be like, well, people, she didn't even say anything about other people and other ones. But I will say, man, it is an interesting point, man. As plastic surgery gets better, like there's some people, like it's gotten pretty good where you can really change your face a lot. And people could be 65, 70. You pay enough, some of it gets a little bit botched, but some of it, gets pretty decent. And I had this thought, as plastic surgery gets better and better, and yes, man, do whatever you want if you got to feel confident and feel empowered, but I've kind of always felt the same way, in the sense like, if it's not your own face, like how, I don't know, like, do you still feel that sense of pride if somebody compliments you and go, hey, you're so young, and you go, well, thanks, it cost $130,000. Like, is there any sort of pride in looking good if it's not original, and not even just like, facelifts and everything, it's whatever you can do, remove the skin. But even just like a nose, like a nose job, and I guess it would hurt if people were like, if that was the only thing they compliment, hey, you got a real nice nose. You're like, that was the only quality you like about it. That was the only thing I got changed. I've always thought about that. Like, how well would you feel? How much confidence would you have? And how much pride would you feel for people liking you for something that isn't yours, that didn't originate from you? And I don't know, man. I was thinking about, as it gets better and better, eventually, man, I feel like at some point everyone's just going to get plastic surgery and everyone's just going to be the most beautiful people of all time. And at that point, I don't even know, like, does it even matter to be beautiful? I feel like there's so much beauty in the flaws and the little intricacies and the way that your kind of face is uniquely shaped and developed. If everybody looked perfectly symmetrical, almost robotic, like, hey, that's just what we do. This is how life goes. We all get the perfect shape. We come out like this. You're born ugly to go, oh, fix it. And then immediately everyone's just so handsome and gorgeous. Would people still feel like, I don't know. I don't even know how the confidence you would be feeling. Like, well, we're all like super deeply depressed, but we also don't even know what we look like on the inside. Or would the people who don't, like, people who can't afford it, like, man, look how, like, that is such a unique look. They're beautiful. At some point, man, I think ugly is going to come all the way back around, or not even back around. It's just going to come around. Ugly hasn't been in yet, but eventually ugly is going to be the new thing. So if you feel bad about yourself, stick with it, man. Eventually everyone's going to kind of shape the society. It's going to get real weird here in a minute, and then you are going to be so special. You still won't be beautiful, but you'll be so special and so sought after. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's definitely interesting for sure. I'm just trying to think how I would feel, man. It's like if someone compliments you on your toupee, do you go, thanks, man, it's my friggin' parents' closet? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to, I just would feel about anything else like that, you know? Like, if I had a Darth Vader mask and I was going, and someone went, I love how you breathe. I'm like, that's not really me. That's that's the mask more than anything, or people who wear those shoes and the lifts or like the heels, but like the sneakers that make you look 8 inches taller. Like, I love how tall you are. Like, do you still feel like, I am the man? I don't know. Confidence, a weird, strange thing. It's not really fair for me to speak on, man. For some reason, I've always been self-confident, and that's my parents' fault. I was homeschooled during the judgment and the self-conscious years of being a teenager. So I was with my mom every day, lived next to my great-grandmother, saw my other grandma. I had a lot of people in my life constantly telling me I was smart and handsome and beautiful and talented, and eventually, just became true. They spoke it into existence. But anyways, that's a little thing in case you guys do get plastic surgery. Just a heads up. Ugly people are coming back. What else happened? There was a Mexican Navy ship that hit the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know why they were up there. I don't have all the details. I know that nobody died. That is a long way for the Mexican Navy. Like, they're just freaking sailing. They're just doing like a little tour. And it's a big, it's not a huge disaster. It's big enough because nobody died. But my whole question, man, is, so they have all these people on the sails too, and it's a very beautiful and elegant ship, and you can see plain as day this ship is not gonna make it under this bridge, and from a while, like, I don't know what the brakes are like on these things, or does nobody plan the route and go, yeah, there's a couple overpasses, we're not gonna like, you think about that if you're just driving an RV and you're like, okay, that bridge is a bit too low. If you're driving a truck that's too big, you go, okay, I can't go to the McDonald's drive-through. Like, those are things that just kind of come up naturally, and it's crazy. This poor bridge just got knocked off, and it doesn't look like anybody was panicking, or maybe that was just kind of their Navy stance. They're up on the sails, man. They're all standing up, like, they're like, oh, yep, we're not gonna like, how many times has that happened? I have no idea. Like, the fact that nobody was screaming, hey, there's a bridge, and you're seeing it in slow-mo for a long while. I don't know. Also, like, just make smaller boats, like, I feel like there should be just a set limit on all the ships. We're way past any sort of, well, I hope it makes it, this voyage, I hope it's gonna work out. I feel like there should be a set limit. This is the lowest you can make bridges. This is the tallest you can make boats, and everyone should have all the details, all the schematics. There shouldn't be many instances where we just kind of pull up on something and go, well, guess I'll die now. So that was pretty unfortunate. But also, man, okay, again, happy that no one got hurt. I've already said that. I've always wanted to sink a ship so bad, man. I've always, since watching Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's so gracefully, the entire thing goes down and he just walks right onto the dock. I want to do it so bad. I want to buy even just a small little boat. I want to take it out to a lake and I want to sink it. And that's it. I want to feel that fulfillment, and I haven't gotten yet. That's my dream, man. I haven't won the lottery yet, but if I do, there will be signs. I will just be dropping boats all across every lake, pond, ocean, any body of water I can get my hands on. If I see it, just a puddle, I'll be like scooping it into my boat, sink. I don't know. I really want to do it. I don't know why it seems so fun. It's like a car crash that I know I won't die from. It's like, this is just like a controlled, elegant failure, Like, how often do you get to experience that? Like, just floating. You're like, well, it's over. And you kind of just move on. And you, like, let that be. I want it. I want it so bad. Anyways, sorry about the Mexican Navy ship. Hope you guys are doing okay. To the few of those that some people did, I think, suffer some leg damages because, well, gravity and all. Anyways. we could end it now, or we could talk about one last news headline, and that is this chair breaking. No, it's not. Apparently, so on TikTok, there was a trend going around where mothers would crack an egg on the daughter's forehead, or the son, whoever they'd had to be holding with like a little kid. They'd be baking or something, and they'd use the kid's forehead, crack an egg, and the kid would go, "What the frick?" He'd be so confused, and everyone would laugh. Kind of a messed up trend, you just kind of watch this. He's so out of it. He's like, "Yeah, Mom, why would you hurt me?" Like, don't worry, it doesn't hurt the kid. So what happened to one of these, I guess, I don't know if I got it. I guess trying to report the news, I only get the little headline there. So guys, here's what did happen is that a woman, I don't know if it did more damage than others, but a woman did this. They did the little TikTok trend, and she cracked the egg on the daughter's head, and they went to court. Someone filed a complaint or some sort of suing action of a suit against her, and the court ruled that the mom owed the daughter, the 2-year-old daughter, $2,000 in damages. Again, I don't know if she did anything extra than the other moms, so it's pretty harsh, if you're the one, you're like, everyone else was doing it, everyone else was, cracking eggs on the kids, and I'm the one, how did my kid even call you guys? And all of a sudden your daughter, your 2-year-old, is sitting at a different table in court. You're like, the video speaks for itself, Judge. You see what I'm saying? I could friggin' got yolk stuck in my forehead, shells in my hair. Pretty crazy. But you know what? You do a lot for the views, and you get dinged. Like that. Also, I don't know, where does the $2,000 go? Like, if my parents got money for me, like, is it not going in their account that they saved? Like, well, this is $2,000. Like, it's like, hey, you got to put $2,000 in your kid's college fund. You got to put $2,000 in the Coogan account, or whatever the child actors things have that, you can't touch it until you're 18. But I don't know, your parent, I think you have access to all their money kind of anyways. I don't know. I would get it back. There's no way in a world, well, one in which I would do that, but if I got sued by my toddler and I owed them $2,000, I would get it. Kids are so easy, man. You're like, hey, do you want to give me $2,000? I'm like, no, that's my money. I'm like, well, what about for a Scooby snack? It'd be so easy. Even if they were like 5 or 8, I'd be like, oh, let's race for $2,000. And they go, no way, that's $2,000. Like, okay, fine. Let's race for $50, and I'd let him beat me, and they'd be like, whoa, I'm way faster than my dad. And I'm like, okay, let's race for $200, and I'd let him beat me again. It's like, dude, I could do this all day. Let him beat me a few more times, and all of a sudden I'm in the hole another $1,000. I'm like, okay, you know what? Double or nothing, $3,000 on the table. Let's do it. I feel I can do it. He's like, I'm way faster than you. I'd scorch him. $3,000. Like, well, guess we got out of that one. Done with the egg cracking business. Pretty crazy, man. Also, just don't disrespect your kids for views. That's pretty point blank. I don't know. I mean, parents do it all the time, but they don't record it. You know what I'm saying? But just don't. Probably don't do that anymore. Did my parents ever do anything like that? Could I be, when you get those emails like, hey, well, if you took part in this Walmart survey from 2015 to 20, you might be entitled to a few. Like, well, did your parents ever say this or that? Did your parents ever, say you go to vacuum too often? You might be, I don't know if my parents did anything that would entitle me to a few $100, let alone 1,000. I don't even know if I'm entitled to a pack of Skittles. I don't know. I'll have to deep dive. What's the statute of limitations on cracking an egg on your kid's head? Like, can I take some time to rewind and go back and be like, he did throw some flour in my eyes the summer of 2010, so I might need some reparation there. Thank you, Father. I don't know. But anyways, it's going around. The point of that is be careful what you do to your kids, because somebody somewhere might just ask your kid to take you to court. I don't know. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging in here with me for 220.
I can bench 220.
And if you can bench it, hang in there. I can bench even more. Barely. But yeah, that's all, guys. Thank you so much for hanging. Thanks so much for talking, having fun. It's a grand old time. Are there a lot of exciting things that we want to do in life? Of course. Will I tell you about them? No, because I don't want to lose that steam, man. I don't want to lose that steam. But luckily, it's not hot in here today. And even if it was, we'd enjoy it all the same. Be happy, be grateful, be thankful. Other words that mean, yes, freaking finally, or something like that. And don't take melatonin unless you want to dance with the devil. Well, you're very light on your feet. Guys, have a good one. I'll see you in the next episode.